You know, I was born in 1980. This puts me in a interesting position, just like many of those, I would say those that are born in the 70s and 80s. They got to see a different world. The 70s would have been kind of cool to see, but I don't think I'd be able to enjoy the technologies of the day as much because I was pretty much born into them. I mean, sure, you had computers in the 70s, but personal computers were still very rare. And then in the 80s, they got more common. You had the video game consoles. Nintendo, I think, came out in, 80? Somewhere 84, 85, 86, somewhere around there. I think it was 86, and then you had the Super Nintendo in 90, 91. I mean, it was an interesting time. The 80s was inspirational. It had great music. 90s, started getting into the grunge era. Good music, interesting times. The internet started becoming a common thing after 95. Started having it in schools and everything. Still dial up, but it worked. And then the 2000s really boomed. About the mid-2000s, 2005 or so, broadband started becoming an affordable thing. And, through phone lines, DSL, you can get decent internet. I mean, sure, it was only like a maximum of 3 megabit per second, but versus 56 kilobit per second, big difference. A lot of things started changing. Now, I love technology, the internet, all that stuff, but is it going to be around in the future? Are we going to be able to enjoy it? What is the definition of precarious? Are we living in a precarious time? Is that the right word I want to use? I don't know. It's a troubling time for me. I'm in my early 40s. And I am a student of history, I guess, by my own vice. I don't know. Whatever words I want to use, they're not coming. I love history. I study it. I watch documentaries, listen to them mostly because I'm driving when I've got them playing. But World War II, 30s, 40s, mostly. And of course, you got the Cold War, which was from the 50s all the way through to the 90s. I was born when the Cold War was still going on. And now today, I've been watching my news, which is usually a couple days behind, because I watch it clips that I load onto a YouTube playlist that I listen to while I'm driving down the road. I listen to Secular Talk and the Young Turks. Why? Well, because because I trust them more than I trust most other media sites. And they basically, they have their own reporters and stuff, but a lot of the stuff that they report on is commentary of what's already been reported on in a newspaper or on mainstream media like CNN or Fox or whatever. And they try to correct the story. And if the more reason why I trust them most is because they don't agree with propaganda, and if they say something wrong, they will correct themselves. They admit their biases. They understand that neutrality is not how you should post your news. You should post the news that's reported, commentate on it, and try to find the truth. So they have their opinions, and they say them, and they don't hold back. There's a bit of professionalism in TYT, even in secular talk. Different type of show. But I don't know, I just trust them more. They do a better job. So, lately in the news, Russia is pretty much invading Ukraine, which was wanting to be a part of NATO. Which is dangerous because now we have two nuclear powers yet again, at each other's throats. Now, the Cold War, for the most part, outside of maybe the Cuban Missile Crisis, which got a little too heated, too dangerous, is basically a big dick whacking contest. Who's got the bigger dick? And I'm tired of that shit. Cut them off. They don't deserve to have dicks. Unfortunately, that can't be done. And our country's in question about its leadership. We got an administration that's not doing anything. And before that, we had a Republican administration that, well, they didn't really do that much other than things that did not help the American people. There was a few things during the pandemic, but most of it was meant to help corporations. And that's the problem. Almost everything that's been going on in politics has been to help the corporations, but not the people. The people are suffering. And now, there literally is the threat of World War III. What the fuck is next? Now, I thought we were going to be more like the Nazis, but turns out Russia might be more like the Nazis. They always have been, in a way. But they weren't as cruel. They weren't as bold as Hitler was, or maybe they're just more calculating. I don't know. But the plain and simple fact is that Russia is engaging in dangerous actions, and the United States seems to be hungry for war, even though we just pulled out from Afghanistan. But it all depends on who you're asking. I don't know what Biden was going to do. Maybe, here's a conspiracy for you, maybe Biden pulled out of Afghanistan because he knew Russia was going to do this, and he was, I don't know, recouping for a much more serious conflict. I don't know. If anything, odds are there's going to be a proxy war. It's going to be in Ukraine. Hopefully it stays a proxy war, but it's a semi-proxy war because Russia is directly involved. Unlike how it was in the Middle East. And it just makes me think of our history. Of everything. Everything that's been going on. Nobody looks at the fucking history. We're making the goddamn same fucking mistakes that we made back in the past. And I do blame the right wing. I do blame the Christian extremists, the dominionists on the right who want to make this a Christian nation. The ones who want to outlaw homosexuality and that one pastor that's talking about how there was witches in his congregation and he had book burnings and all kinds of... These people are trying to rally the crazies. Trying to propagandize. The Republican Party has been doing it for years. That's how so many people are still loyal to Trump, even though after he tried to steal this country, to steal an election, through an insurrection that was egged on by himself. He won't admit it. That's part of the problem. He's just like Hitler was. Hitler would not admit the shit. Hitler would tell the big lie to get his way, to get what he wanted, to rally the people to his will. And they have a lame duck Democratic establishment who's blaming the people who are representing the people. You know, Justice Democrats, the progressives. Apparently, they're too far left. And I started thinking about FDR. You know, that man wasn't perfect. He had his secrets. But you know what? There is a reason why he kept being elected. 4 terms. Because he actually fought for the people. He gave the people what they needed and what they wanted. Within reason, of course. And he was going to give more. But he died in office. Now his wife Eleanor pushed for a lot more progressive things all the way into the 60s before she died. Progressivism is the way to go. Republicans, corporations, will call it communism or socialism. And while there might be some socialistic things involved in it, it's not wanting to get rid of capitalism. It's wanting to make it so that the American people have opportunity, a fair shot at making it in this country. The American dream, what everybody wanted. And those boomers that were born in the late 40s and those who came back from the war had opportunities to buy a house, to have a good job, to retire. They expect us, of course the boomers are the ones in control now. They're the ones in their 70s and 80s, 60s. They, for some reason, want us to do it the same way they did, even though that way doesn't exist anymore because of them. Right-wing push to take away the rights of everybody. See, that's the difference. George Carlin said it in an interview. He said, if you dropped me from a plane, I would fall onto the left side of that line. Why? Because on the left, people on the left, Democrats, progressives, liberals, they care about people. That's what they think about. They think about the people. You know, the people of this country, of the world even. But mostly of this country. FDR was one of those liberals. And he made the boomers got to benefit from FDR's New Deal. And then they squandered it, expecting us to do the same thing they did when the benefits of the New Deal no longer exist because of all the corruption that they've engaged in, dismantling the system. The economy sucks because of Reaganomics and our inability to realize it doesn't fucking work. The right wing propagandize against the left, against people living how they want to live, against freedom and democracy. They're against Antifa. Apparently not realizing that Antifa stands for anti-fascism. And so if you're against Antifa, you are a fascist by all accounts. Or you're just completely fucking ignorant. That's another thing. We got ignorant, stupid, crazy people in power now. That's scary because looming World War III, having those kind of people in control creates a dangerous precedent that we have to be very careful what we do, because it's a tinderbox. And the stupidity is the sparks. Putin attacking Ukraine is a spark. The Republicans and the warmongers in our military-industrial complex are sparks. They cannot wait to light that on fire so they can shoot something, so they can sell more tanks and guns and planes. All without realizing that that's going to kill a lot of people. These people don't care about people. That's what Carlin said. The left care about people. The right care about property. They're vicious. They don't care. They're heartless. They have no soul whatsoever. But for some reason, people can't wake up from that. Some people are. Some people are realizing what the left is about once they get past the propaganda. I mean, these people will lie to your face, obvious lying to your face, and then turn around and contradict themselves and think nothing of it. They'll believe in contradicting ideas. You know, cognitive dissonance. The whole bunch is affected by the most heinous versions of Dunning-Kruger effect. They don't see it. They're unwilling to wake up from their nightmare, their cult. So I worry. I worry because I don't want my kids to go to war. I mean, if we go to war right now, my oldest, Austin, he'll be the first up for draft. My next oldest, Owen, he just turned 16. He can be drafted. Question: his autism, his disability may disqualify him. That's not a bad thing. My next oldest, Alex, 15. Or no, not 15, excuse me, 13. Damn. That's it. Time flies, man. You start to lose track, especially if they don't live with you all the time. I don't like that. Yeah. 12/18/08. So whatever. 14. 13, 14. Damn. They get away from you. About them. I don't want to see them have to go get drafted into some war that we're never going to fucking win. No side will win a nuclear war. Have we figured that out yet? I don't know. I mean, we learned it in the 90s. That's why the war stopped. We realized we can point gun at each other all we want. We all both have contingency plans. If one shoots nukes, the other one shoots nukes, no matter who hits first. A lot of people will die, possibly the entire world, from nuclear fallout. Don't matter to these people because I guess they just don't know how to live in peace. They don't know how to just let people have their borders. Unless they want to emancipate into that country, let them be. Let them be. Emancipate may be the wrong word. That's usually a separation. I don't know. If they want to join a country, let them join a country. Send out a proposal, if you will. But don't fucking go to war over it. What the fuck's wrong with you? You know, if Mexico wants to become part of the United States of America, that's fine. Let's make them a commonwealth. Let them join. Part of the actual landmass, maybe, you know, their provinces or states or whatever they call them there, be part of the United States. I don't know how that would work. But the damn thing is, we got to become a good country again. You want to grow? Make them want to be part of your country. By being a good country. Make it so that the people in your country are living so great that them joining your country and having the policies that your country has and the economy that your country has will greatly benefit everybody involved. Their resources will become your resources. Their economy will create new jobs, new territory, new opportunities. That's how you grow your country, not by force. Britain tried that. Guess what happened? They did it for a while. Now a lot of these countries, they're independent. Come on, people. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there that don't want to send their kids to war. I believe my three younger ones, they're 5 and under, are safe. But who knows? Will this war last 20 years? Of course. Is the war going to stay away from us? Is the damage of war going to stay away from us? Or are we going to be affected by the bombs that are going to be dropped? The missiles that are going to be shot? Or launched. You launch a missile. There you go. I don't want to find out. I don't want that to be something that we have to worry about. Honestly, I want to work. I want to work less hours, make more money, good benefits, retire. So if I can get it back down, if I can get it down to where I can have plenty of money, working 8 to 10 hours a day, plenty of money, working a good shift, getting the things that we want and need, and a good retirement. That's all I want. Maybe I'll spend time with my family instead of trying to have to work 12, 14 hours a day. Just to be able to afford it. I want to get myself set up so I can retire. 25 years working here. That's my goal. If I can retire before then, maybe I will. But if not, not much I can do about it. But I don't want to spend my life working until I die. I want to retire. I want to spend time with my family. I want to have some of the things I've always wanted. It's not too much to ask. That is the American dream. And I think every country should have policies in place that allow for that to be a reality for people who are willing to do the bare minimum, which is just work. Go to work, pay your bills, save your money, retire. Plain and simple. That's the way it should be. I just don't know if we can get there because there's too much corruption. Anyways, just some thoughts. I'm gonna eat some lunch. Try to maybe relax a little bit before I have to. Damn, busy tonight. Get back on the road. So, anyways, have a good one. Let's work towards peace, shall we? I'm tired of war. I love history of war. I don't like actual war. That'll work. Good place to park. Try to get it straight. So you all stay safe. Yeah, I'm not backing into there. There's no, it's too tight. Blind side. This sucks because you have the blind side into here. If you had the blind side, it would be so bad. Anyways, you all have a good evening. Let's stay away from the prospects of war. All that leads to is people dying unnecessarily. We've had enough death. We've had enough wars for the entirety of our humanity. We don't need any more.